It's only orange juice in here tonight, but it should be something else. On a bit of a detox, bit of a gym detox. That's my excuse. I can drink a bit like a fish, can't I, at home games?
Well,
I
yeah.
said it. I said it.
You said it, and not me.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to our free for all show, and thank you for joining us. We have got a number of people already in the show. Feel free, you can get involved. All you have to do is follow the link in the description on YouTube. I'll also play it on the banner very, very shortly. But of course, he needs no introduction now. Of course, we have Mr. Matthew Harrison. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Great win yesterday, so everybody's happy.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So there we are. It is scrolling across the bottom. We will get some people in a second. Thank you to everybody who is joining us. Firstly, Paul Hassel, welcome back to the show. We have got our regular Manny. How you doing, Manny? Good to see you. Top result and top performance, one game at a time. We are getting closer and closer, aren't we? Up the cherries. And big up, lads. Big win for us this weekend. Up the Villa, and thanks for beating Spurs. That's quite all right. It is a huge win for Aston Villa and also ourselves as well. That needs to be a screwdriver, mate. Fair enough, Manny. We've got Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Evening, good evening, mate. You might want to actually keep an eye open for our special announcement. And that's the first thing I'm going to say about it. We have got a very, very, very special announcement at the end or midway through this show. So keep your eyes peeled. Paddy Kirk is already started.
That's another Mr. Harrison.
Is it? Yes. Come on, Mr. Harrison, get yourself on here. I'm trying to think. I was trying to think the other day of what he looks like. I can't think of anything. What a fantastic result! You deserved all 3 points too. Screwdriver equals orange juice and vodka. I haven't got the vodka, but yeah, I might have to go and get some at some point. Evening. Do put your name.
Anna.
Is that Anna? Hello, Anna. Good to see you. And of course, you were there. Looked fantastic experience. Come get on the show, Anna. Don't be shy. Get your camera out and come on the show because it'd be great to have your opinion on this. Oh, you got me thinking what it could be now. There is a mention of Huddersfield Town in there, believe it or not. There is actually a mention of Huddersfield Town. Let's be having you, Sam. And can someone pinch me? I think I was dreaming.
That's
Okay.
Anna again, Craig.
It's Anna again. Excellent. Come on, Anna. Come have a chat. And I tell you what, your videos are amazing. It's an amazing stadium, isn't it? This Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Well, they've been waiting patiently. Let's bring them on. And he was in here early. It's Rolly. How you doing, Rolly?
I'm getting over the spanking we got yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. There is an Aston Villa fan in the chat as well.
They
Rolly,
gave a bloody good spanking yesterday. They deserved it. Hands up, we were awful. It's our worst display of the season. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Newcastle fan. It was not good at all. But thank you, Cherries, once again, twice now. Thank you for giving us Eddie. Thank you for beating Tottenham yesterday. And by beating Tottenham, I didn't feel quite so bad about the spanking we got by Villa.
Well, we do try and look after Eddie, even if he's not here. We have got Stephen Dyer as well. How are you doing, Stephen?
Oh, brilliant. Over the last 24 hours. Absolutely brilliant. I also live in Newcastle, so nice to see some Bournemouth shirts on the screen and watching the podcast from the other channels. Brilliant. You know, the fans crying, they're actually crying, tears in their eyes. It was brilliant. one of those bad days off his head.
Well,
good thing. I get that.
your audio is going a little bit funny at this moment in time, Stephen. Unless it's my headset.
Can you? No.
It could well be my headset. Let me bring
It's
in.
not it's not your headset, Craig.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Stephen, it seems to be a bit of a connection issue with I think it might be the AirPods. So,
Okay.
honestly, don't worry. Just don't worry. Just whenever you're ready. Hopefully it will all sort itself out.
Sounds better.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. And he is a regular.
Okay, good.
We didn't expect him on, but here he is. Here's Manny.
Hey.
Evening, gentlemen. Up the cherries. And, all I can say is that there is a reason why I've sort of gotten a bit of a soft corner for Bournemouth, not just because I'm involved closely with Mr. Beasley and Mr. Harrison and Samuel, of course, who is, taking the mickey in the chat somewhere. But, I mean, I did actually see the highlights, and, I did say that I normally wouldn't want to come on this free-for-all if I didn't see the whole match in its entirety, because highlights packages don't really do the game justice. But again, I just have to say, really, the quality that Bournemouth show, all you have to do is just take it one game at a time now, really. And that is the approach that you should be adopting. And I believe the run-in that you got, West Ham, Leeds, and I don't know who else you're playing. Are you playing Southampton next? I'm not too sure. Is that at the end?
It's West Ham, Southampton, and then Leeds. So
yes. Yeah. So these are games which you should try and aim to win. I should warn you, though, that based on how we play today, West Ham are no slouches. They are going to try and come at you. So you need to avoid the mistakes that we made today. Namely, don't needlessly give the ball away in defense, and always make sure that your passes are not sloppy. And that's pretty much it. We've conceded a 2-goal lead for 2 weeks in a row, but I'm happy to forget about Arsenal. It's all about Bournemouth today, and I want to say the quality that you showed at the Tottenham Stadium was just amazing. And I'm sure when Danjuma scored and was really trying to egg the team on, a lot of you were feeling quite sick. So to see Dango score, it filled me with a lot of happiness watching them on the highlights. I can only imagine how all of you would have been feeling. So all I can say is I'm so happy for all of you, and I believe the Cherries will be up. No doubt about it.
Happy days. I tell you what, it was an amazing result. And of course, when Dango scored, went absolutely mad. So, yeah, fantastic result. We do have another guest backstage. Max will be joining us at some point, he did say. But we have got Simon Ash. How are you doing, Simon?
Buenos dias.
What a result, mate.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Amazing. It was. The limbs on the goal were some of the best. I mean, I've been following Bournemouth a long time, but this really was. I'm struggling to remember. The more the better result than that. What, Chelsea away 1-0? I mean, I'm going to show my age here. I'm sorry to rabbit on, as you know I do, but I was at the Man U Bournemouth game, 1984, when we beat them in the FA Cup 2-0.
Yeah.
It's different times. The Prem is so good now. This is the achievement. And come on, I have to say, Gary O'Neill, wow, I was completely wrong. It's about time we got that song going again. Most
definitely. I've always had a lot of faith in Gary O'Neill, and I always thought that he would, I think there was a point where I started to doubt him a little bit. But, I can't see how anybody can doubt him now, because what he did, yesterday, it was just a fantastic performance from start to finish. Controlled the game. Yes, Spurs were going to have opportunities, but at the same time, a well taken first goal by Vina. Solanke, it's great that he's back on the score sheet. And then, Ouattara, for a first goal in English football, when I was starting to worry about, I think the thing is now, is I think those goals will come along like buses because he had so much confidence how he controlled it, turned his man, and put it into that bottom hand corner.
Yeah.
And that's not at any time. That's a 95th minute moment. And the difference between 3 points and 1. And yeah, what can I say? One of the things that was put on the AFC Bournemouth Twitter yesterday after the game was the question: is that our best victory in the Premier League? Go on.
Yeah, for me it was, considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
So I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't think Harry Kane had a look in very much either.
Didn't.
So that was good.
We kept him quiet.
At the moment, they're all over the shop.
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me that you beat them. I came on your show after you drew with us 1-1 at down at your place, and said that I didn't think you go down. And there's nothing has changed my mind since then. I think you're about 4 points from safety. I really do. I think. Yeah, was he on 33 now?
Yep, 33.
37 is normally enough to keep you safe. And you've got, was it 7 games to get that? I can't see you going down. I think you'll end up quite comfortable mid-table.
Yeah, I'd rather do it ourselves in the next 3 games. If you can get the next 3, if you get 7 points maybe, or maybe 9 for the next 3 games, and then the next 4 games after that, we can relax a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Gary can tinker around, ready for next season.
The way I look at it is that can anybody see Everton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, or Southampton getting to 37 points with the games they've got left?
No,
I don't actually. I don't. Southampton, I think, are pretty much doomed.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty much doomed. I think Leicester will put up a fight. They're the ones that probably put up the most of a fight because of Dean Smith coming in. Nottingham Forest have got an incredibly tough run running into the season. I don't think Everton are out of the woods, and I don't think Leeds are out of the woods yet. But
I'll say on the show that I go on
the next 3 games and let the other teams decide if they want to go down to the last 2 or 3 games. But if we can clear our debt and stay in, get the 37 points in the next 3 games, we won't have to worry about those other teams. They can fight it out amongst themselves. And if they go down to the last game of the season, so be it. But if we can do well in the next 3 games, that would be the icing on the cake. And then we can start planning forward to next season.
I actually think that it'll be Everton, Southampton, and Leicester that will go down. And that's with or without Everton getting points deducted. Because you've got to remember there's a chance they get points deducted this season. If they do, they'll definitely go down. But I just think they will go down anyway. I think Forest will pick up some more points. I know their goal difference is a lot worse than, well, I say it's a lot worse than Everton's. It's not too bad. They're not too far behind with the teams Everton got to play. They're shocking. They really are shocking, Everton. At least Forest look like they can get points at home. They had a good go at Man United, but say they got beaten, rightly so. But they look like they're at least willing to have a go and try and get at teams where Everton just, they're powder puff up front and can't defend, which is a recipe for relegation. And I really hope they go down, partly because I live on Merseyside. I can't stand
Well, we do have some other comments that have come in. But one thing I am going to say is let's try and get on YouTube. It shows us how many viewers are in at the moment. Now, we got a huge announcement tonight to be made. We got the video all ready to go. But if we can get up to 25 concurrent viewers on YouTube, I'll play it. I'll play it. But it is a big, big announcement. And somebody who has come on the show. But let's just quickly go through these comments and then we will welcome on somebody who is in the background and is becoming a regular now. I can see a little smile on his face there in the background. Villa TV, we was all over Newcastle on the way to top 5 up the Villa.
Yes, they were.
Who's winning the Premier League? I think Man City. We'll come back to that in a bit. I think this might be Anna. It was pandemonium. Such an amazing moment. I'm quite surprised I said the word pandemonium. I've struggled with words like that, unfortunately, sometimes, but then struggled with the word moment. Great
Don't
to
underestimate yourself, Craig. You'll never know how good you are unless you try. I think you did that perfectly.
Thank you, Manny. You're too kind. Great to finally win in North London. Fans were awesome. Spurs fans didn't do their team any favours. One game at a time, and they're all games we can get something from. And that is from, I believe, Floyd, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Floyd.
Floyd, there we are. And Mark Cole, excellent performance and result yesterday. 6 more points, and we'll be safe. Right, I think he's waited long enough. I really want him in this room. It is Mr. Lawrence Martin. Here he is.
Hey.
Yes, matey.
How are you guys?
How you doing, mate?
All good.
Oh, amazing! What you mean that? Oh, blimey! What can we say? I think the roof nearly came off my house when we scored the winner.
Oh, what an absolute brilliant result, isn't it?
I was not expecting that. That was like, magic moment.
Definitely. I tell you what, we do have one person in the background who I think we want the lottery results from, because I can verify this. He did actually predict the right result for this game before the game kicked off. I'm not lying. He's not lying. It's Mr. Max Cowlard. How you doing, mate?
All
Right,
right.
mate, how are you?
Good, man.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I sent you the prediction, didn't I? You on WhatsApp. You can even look. It was before 3:00, wasn't it? I sent you a message as well.
Yeah, and I tell you what prediction that is. What is the lottery numbers, Max?
I don't know that one, but I'll cross my chest here.
Gotta be 33.
Well, we are up to 16 viewers on YouTube. I tell you what, please share this stream with everybody. Please do get involved as well, guys. If you want to, you're all welcome. Because once we get up to 25, that special announcement will be made, and it will actually, the video will be played straight after this edition of the free for all as well. So I'll leave that in limbo. Just make sure we've got 10 more people to go on YouTube. I don't know. Unfortunately, it doesn't say how many people are on Facebook or Twitter, but keep suggesting people watch this. So I'll tell you what. Let's start at the beginning. What was really the expectations going around the room? What was the expectations at the start of this game? I'll tell you what my prediction was, because of course it was on the preview show. I thought it was going to be a 2-1 defeat. At one point, I was quite excited because I thought I got the right result, but the wrong way round. But Danjuma, I thought, oh no, it was guaranteed to be him. I thought it was going to be a 2-1 defeat. At one point, I was quite excited because I thought I got the right result, but the wrong way round. But Danjuma, I thought, oh no, it was guaranteed. He's echoing. we thought it was going to be a 2-1 defeat. At one point,
Someone who's that?
Right result.
Who's got it
Who
on?
is that?
You could play my video on there, Craig, couldn't you? To the room, couldn't you? You could play my video on Cherries.
Somebody was pulling a prank there.
Yeah.
I think they was. I was wondering. I thought I've got an echo here, and I thought, to be honest, Matt, I thought it might have been you initially because I thought, has he twigged that I've said something wrong or something?
No.
No, I was, to be honest, that was great. What was your expectations, Matt, before this game?
I'd have been happy with a draw, but obviously ecstatic with how it went yesterday.
Rolly?
So I'll just quickly check in my. I think you were on the Soccer 6, and I'm pretty sure I had it down as a 1-1 draw. But the thing with Tottenham at the moment, they're all over the place. So I had hopes that you would get something from the game, and obviously I wanted you to win. You had you down as a 1-1 draw because that's, you can never tell from game to game which Spurs is going to turn up, and you have been playing well.
Yeah,
you've got some good results. Like I said earlier, I believe back when you played us at the Vitality that you'd stay up. I was ecstatic when you're 2-1 up, gutted when it's 2-2, and then really pleased with the 3-2 win because that's damage limitation because obviously we got spanked, but it just meant that we still got that gap between us and Spurs who are fifth with a game in hand. I'm not worried about Man United. I just want that Champions League spot. It's going to put them in really good it's going to really help their confidence when they come up to St James's Park on Sunday. So, really pleased for you. And it helps us out as well, which is a bonus.
Fair enough. Stephen, sorry, Craig, connection issues. We'll watch on YouTube. No problem at all, Stephen. Great to have you on, and thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome to come on anytime. Even later on if you want to, is entirely up to you. Mr. Lawrence Martin, you was on cherry picking, of course, mate.
I did be a score draw, so I guess it was a score draw because it was 5-5. Really, they scored 5, we scored 5. But, we got 3 points each, I guess. But yeah.
But it was very close to being so. Thanks to Arnaut Danjuma, unfortunately.
You especially don't getting in there and getting the points for them. But, he kind of enjoyed his goal, didn't he?
He certainly did.
But there you go. So we got the 3 points and we're up to 33. I did say we'll get 16 points in April, and we've only got 7 to go. And I didn't have Tottenham in as getting any points there, so I'm ahead of the game with that one.
And you did pick the number 33 on cherry picking for our next number. So I tell you what, you're a mind reader as well. So you and Max can both give me the lottery results if you can. Simon, what did you reckon, mate?
Well, I fancied, my son said when we got there yesterday, it was such a really nice day and all Bournemouth fans were in a brilliant mood. And on match of the day, the support in that corner. We had 3,200 there yesterday. We normally only get an allocation of 2,000. We've got 3,000. That extra 1,000 fans makes a lot of difference. There's a few, I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook, there's a few fans there's some fans that are in the Tottenham part, they went, I went with my cousins. Have you seen that? Has anyone seen that? And all you could hear was Bournemouth fans. Seriously, we sang that place. The limbs on the third goal, wow. And sorry, I'm getting because it was quite an emotional day actually. There's people literally crying there yesterday. It was ridiculous, the emotion. But Danjuma celebrating his goal like that, boo! No, he shouldn't have. That's classless. I mean, we know he's a money grabber anyway because he went to Everton. Then in the last minute, Tottenham came and offered him a bit more money. So we know what he's all about. He's not, he's not the type of player we want, quite frankly. So I'm glad he didn't come. How about an apology from the VAR people for Ryan Christie? That was a penalty.
Yeah.
And to book him, such a straight shooting good guy that Ryan Christie is, to book him for that, it's simulation. What?
That's crazy.
Rant over.
Yeah. We got the 3 points though, Simon. That was the main thing. I'll tell you what a result, and yeah, absolutely delighted with that.
It was.
Yeah, the things with VAR, I was going to say with VAR is the referee has to book you for simulation. That's just for diving. That when there's contact on him and they thought it was simulation. It's a joke.
It is a joke.
It's a joke. Yeah, VAR.
Big club bias. Big club bias.
Still no penalties for Bournemouth this season.
Unbelievable. No penalty.
And the VAR's been shocking this season.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of the so-called big six, you don't get anything.
Exactly.
I mean, the ref for our game yesterday was atrocious. We're going to change the result. It's just been atrocious.
We do have some more comments as well. Before I asked Manny what he thought before the game, Wayne Walden. Hi guys, from a Fulham fan. Great to have you again, Wayne, on here. Wayne is a regular now, so yeah, thank you so much for all the comments that you leave. I'd just like to say well done, Bournemouth, on your win over Tottenham. Good luck with the rest of the season, and likewise to Fulham as well. Fingers crossed you do start firing on all cylinders after beating Everton, which is a result, of course, which makes it quite a bit more comfortable for us as well. So we do appreciate that. Anthony Herbert, big up Paddy Kirk. Hope you're well and a good win for you guys. Do you know what? Everybody's saying it now, aren't they? Everybody is saying it. Paddy Kirk. Do you know what this is? I think I need to actually explain this. So this started by my brothers. And then we did the Leeds watch along, and Paddy Kirk is a guy called Dominic something, isn't it? On Emmerdale, and supposedly I look like him. I look nothing like him.
You look like a poor man James Corden, if you ask me. But
what did you say?
It's more like Corden, if you ask me.
Oh, it's getting harsh now. James Corden.
You could do a lot worse than Smithy, Matthew. You know that.
All right, David Brent.
That was quick, Craig. Well done.
It was quick, wasn't it? I tell you what, I need to think of something for Sam now because he's been carrying it on. Where is he? Where is he tonight? Where is he?
Hiding, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hiding. He doesn't want the bands.
In the week, my favourite cafe closes in half an hour, and I had no breakfast yet. And the wife wants me at work, so I gotta disappear.
Fair enough, Lawrence. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You are a regular on this show, mate. So
we need
enjoy your avocado toast, sir.
Oh,
yes,
if they did it. Thanks, guys.
All right, cheers, Lawrence. See you soon,
Cherries.
Mate. Cherries. See you later, mate. Take care.
See you later, matey.
See you later, matey. Oh, a legend, isn't he? A legend. Absolutely love Lawrence Martin. We have some more comments. The big club bias is so real. Feels like no one wants Bournemouth in the Premier League. Yesterday's decision not to award us pens or give us cards when they were undeserved was shocking. I don't know who that comment's by, but
Anna again.
It's Anna.
Yeah. I think
she does.
Don't forget all the VAR decisions that go against us. Like apparently the commentators were saying because Harry Kane was offside and blinding Neto because he had to step sideways so he could see it. But where Neto didn't appeal, then that's why they reckon they gave the goal. Because he's blinding the keeper when he's offside. Yeah, that was so. If only that didn't happen, we could have possibly won 3-1 or held on to 2-1. But you never know.
Look at Tony at Brentford. Look at Tony getting that penalty. Look at we were there for that. Look at the handball juggling by the West Ham defender to get their goal at West Ham. That was just ridiculous. And they looked at VAR. He was juggling with his hands. Just like, what can you do? Oh, sorry, ranting again. I've got to stop that. I'm so happy from yesterday, guys. It was fantastic. I'm just buzzing from it still. Just buzzing. Watch that Dango goal about 25 times on YouTube. Well, he cuts back in into the other corner. Wow.
It was
beautiful, isn't it?
He sits Højbjerg down, does one.
He does.
There's a fake shot. He falls over.
Big
then
time.
Pass it in the corner.
Big time. Yeah.
Quality. Absolutely.
Yeah, wasn't it? Fantastic.
I'm just going to go back to Anna's comment here as well. I was also at the West Ham game when Jay-Z was given a penalty against him for handball. But the same thing at the other end.
Yeah.
Pen is awarded. Shocking. To be honest, there's no consistency in VAR, is there, this season?
Absolutely not.
No, there isn't. And I actually want to comment and say that, when we played West Ham today, West Ham had a penalty shout against Rob Holding, but because it hit Holding on his arm and his arm was attached to his chest, it wasn't given. However, they ended up getting a penalty thanks to Gabriel foul on, I believe it was Declan Rice. I'm not too sure. My memory fails me. But later on in the game, we actually got awarded a penalty when the ball hit, I believe it was Antonio's arm. His right arm was also on at the side of his body. It wasn't an unnatural position, but a penalty was given. So this particular bias against the smaller clubs does seem to be quite apparent, and it would have been a travesty of justice in many ways if we had won that game in a way, because in the second half West Ham was so much better. But one thing for which I must compliment you, Simon, you, Max, and everyone else who's ranting is because you're keeping it real. Because many of the people, mind you, who would say, you know what, we've got 3 points, we don't need to rant about this. No, we need to make sure that we make an issue of this issue with the VAR practically every game, regardless of the result. It's always the application, and I do genuinely believe that that penalty against Antonio should not have been awarded. I suppose it was justice in a way that Bukayo Saka missed that penalty, but the abuse that he's receiving afterwards, whether on social media or otherwise, is just shameful. And those people who are responsible for it, you should hang your heads in shame and be seriously arrested for online abuse or whatever. Some of it was flashbacks of Euro 2020 all over again. And coming back to your original question, Craig, for which you were going to come to me, I'm one of those people who actually believed, if you remember the cherry picking, show we did when we talked about the run-ins, we all agreed that you had the better, easier run-in of the teams in this dogfight. And certainly games against teams around about that region were games that you should look to win, whereas with Spurs, the fear that I had with Spurs is that they would always find a way, for the most part, to get the results they needed against teams below them, whether it be Bournemouth or someone else. So I actually, I remember hoping for at best a draw. I was predicting a 2-1 defeat. So you can imagine how happy I was to read about it, and then watching the highlights later on, because I was actually out that time. I was in the gym and I couldn't watch the game, and it wasn't even being shown on my telly. So I was absolutely pleased. And it's another example of how Bournemouth as a team have been able to... You've displayed a knack of being able to fight till the end, regardless of all circumstances, no matter what. And that's why I don't know anyone who would want to see Bournemouth relegated. I think those people just don't simply have any romantic attitudes when it comes to football anymore for some reason. But I'll tell you what, after this result, I have all the more confidence that you'll stay up. And Mr. Beasley, let me also compliment you for keeping faith in Mr. O'Neill, as have I. It just goes to show, when you don't panic, when you stay confident in your manager and have that innate belief that he can, turn it around, and the team can turn it around, you are rewarded. More often than not, when you make these decisions to sack your manager in a panic, you are asking for trouble, especially if you are in relegation trouble. I know Crystal Palace they sacked Vieira and they brought in Roy Hodgson, who has done well, but he's got an easier run in now. Crystal Palace are higher up in the table than Bournemouth are. But if you are down in the dumps like Leicester and other teams and you feel the urge to sack your manager, it just goes to show nothing will really change when you do that. So I'm really delighted that Bournemouth have stuck with Gary. I want to see them stay. And of course, this is probably going to be the time when a little bit of investment might need to be done in terms of players, but another reminder that you can't allow yourself to rest on your laurels. But listen, enough prognosticating. Let's just enjoy this win. And of course, as an Arsenal fan, I'm even happier because you beat our closest rivals.
Oh, definitely.
I'd just like to jump in on this VAR. Yeah, I agree that it goes against the smaller clubs. But it also goes against the clubs that are trying to break up that top six, which we're doing, and Brighton are doing, because Brighton got some shocking decisions last week against Tottenham. We've had shocking decisions all down the season. I mean, we had that goal against Crystal Palace disallowed because Willett was pushed into the keeper, and VAR called it back for a foul on the keeper when Willett was clearly pushed. I mean, it should have either been a penalty to us or they've given the goal. We've had decisions like that all through the season because they don't want us to break into the top four. They thought it would take us a lot longer to do it than it has. And they don't like it. But we've been playing so well all season that it's not going to make any difference. But again, you tend to get really shocking decisions at the bottom as well, especially unfashionable clubs.
See Forest. Sorry to butt in. Did you see Forest today? Harry Maguire.
Yeah,
handball there.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. I'm not a great fan of Forest. Obviously, they're one of our relegate. Someone we're against. But blimey, that's a penalty to Forest.
Yeah,
it's a penalty.
Penalty all day,
wasn't it?
Craig, just quickly, because someone's cracking me up here in the waiting room. If you want to bring him in.
Oh, here we go. I will bring him in. Just on the page there, please share this feed. We will go through the rest of the comments as well because they're coming in thick and fast. But let's bring him on. It's Paddy Kirk's number one fan.
Been a long time coming.
It's only Mr. Samuel Harrison. Do you know what? I am going to actually change your name because I've just thought who you look like.
Okay.
Here we are.
This should be fun.
This is going to be fun. It's Bryn from Gavin and Stacey. He's Uncle Bryn. Uncle Bryn's a Bournemouth fan.
That's nice. Now we got Bryn. Now we got Smithy. What about Matthew? Who'll he be?
I guess he's going to be Matthew Horn, to be honest, Gavin's. He's probably got the best one of the lot.
That one, to be fair.
What we've got, I'll go through some of these comments. Huddersfield fans. I'm struggling to read them now. Huddersfield Town fan TV. 6 points will keep you up, and I think you'll do it. I hope so. Anthony Herbert, thank you for being so patient. Your comment did come through about 8 minutes ago. I feel you guys will stay up, pulling out good results when you don't expect it. I think Leicester will go down. Just don't tell Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Where is he? Yes, Chris.
You just had to do that.
Yes. I'm a Man United fan, but I'm very pleased to find this channel. Great to have you here, Joyce Fury. Thank you so much. Saka and Partey was poor today, Manny. I think Trossard should have come on for Saka, and Jesus should have took the penalty too.
Yeah, Anthony has a point there because obviously Saka, his performances have dropped a bit, but it's also really due to mental fatigue. As I've been saying, I'd like to see him rested for Southampton, and we're also going to be playing Southampton before you play them. There really isn't too much about them, but like any team at that at the lower end of the table, they are going to scrap. So, I mean, I'll tell you what. If ex-gunner Theo Walcott scores the goal that denies us a win or a draw, there is going to be hell to pay. And he's done that before, 2 seasons ago, mind you. Arteta would have been sacked if we had lost that game.
Yeah. He's finished, Walcott. Craig, I've got a dash. Guys, have a brilliant...
Thank you
I'll be watching all the rest of this another time. Go on there yesterday. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, keep your eyes peeled, Simon, for 10 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
There is a video going up on the Cherries in all departments. I'll tell you what, Matt, just before you go, Simon, have you got 2 minutes?
Yeah, of course. My son might be coming on, so I might pass over, but I'm just going to call him after I get off. But go on, are you putting your announcement up, are you? What is this announcement?
Well, it is something that is coming. Don't expect, the world's greatest, video voiceover to this, but let's play it now. There we go. So Harry Redknapp has done 3 shows with us, and the first one is at 10 o'clock this evening, and then the subsequent ones are at 6 o'clock, both on Monday and Tuesday. So just try and miss the games, because of course there's the Champions League game on Tuesday. Where's Sam Harrison gone? Where's he gone? Where's Breen gone?
I'll be back in a sec, Craig. I'm just going to use the loo. Is that right?
Oh, that's all right, Max. You carry on.
Let us know live on YouTube, Max. What exactly you're going to do, Sam?
Just after the big announcement as well. Here he is.
It's a great announcement that for you guys getting Harry on. Yeah, it'll be a good watch for all you Cherry fans.
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, it's a great show. There's loads and loads and loads of stuff that Harry's never come out with before that are in those. So the first one's tonight about the Spurs game. Second one, of course, is about the relegation dogfight. And of course, you heard there that Harry thinks somebody is very average. You'll have to watch the video to know who that is. Do you think that's AFC Bournemouth, Matt?
No.
What do you reckon, Sam? I'll tell you what, let's go around the room. Who does Harry, without seeing the video, who does Harry think is very average? I'll tell you what, people in the comments can make just make their guesses as well.
Is this with regards to the Spurs game or Bournemouth?
No. In the relegation dogfight,
okay.
Who do we reckon is really average?
I reckon he's gone with Saints.
Saints for Matt. And I've changed your name to Gav. Gav!
Brilliant.
Who do you reckon, Rowley?
I'm going to say Leicester.
Leicester. What do you reckon, Sam?
I'd agree with Leicester.
Max is in the toilet. And Manny?
I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest, and whoever
Max,
said
you back.
Southampton needs to bear in mind that Harry managed Southampton. I really don't think he'd want to anger the fans of his former club by saying that they're average right now.
He's done that already, Manny, when he took him down. So about that.
Double agent Harry. I like that.
Max, who do you reckon that Harry thinks is average in the relegation dogfight?
Or who's average to go down?
The team that is very average, that he doesn't particularly think is very enjoyable to watch, Max.
Oh no, probably say Southampton.
Southampton, right. Let's have a look at these comments, just see what everybody thinks. Stephen's done the drum roll for me. I should have done that myself, but yes, thank you, Stephen. Oh, Max has dropped his phone. Join a bit late. Better late than never. AFCB Germany, great to have you with us, and good evening, mate. And
I'm going to have to jump out now, guys.
That's all right, Brody. That's all right. You're welcome on anytime you want, mate. Anytime you want. And do let us know what you think of the first Harry video. Newcastle are mentioned as well.
Okay, I'll have a look at it.
All right, mate. I'll see you soon. Take care, mate. Let's have a look through these. Nice one, Craig. Looking forward to it. Up the cherries in all departments. Anna's put amazing announcement. Very excited. It's all on YouTube, Anna. So, if you go onto the page on YouTube, you will find it. Unfortunately, there's no way to actually stream it to Facebook, as I know at the moment. Well, you're lucky to get to speak to Harry. Can't wait to tune into the episodes. Thank you. Do please check it out. The first one is going live tonight at 10 o'clock. Scott Parker to get the Tottenham job. He's given up being a bin man then.
Actually, Scott the bin man Parker. Ages in the chat.
It's definitely not Philip Billing. It's definitely a team. Stephen has gone for Everton. Interesting. Nobody's mentioned Everton so far. But AFCB Germany's mentioned Everton as well. Leon Humby has said Southampton. Anthony said Southampton. Huddersfield Town Fan TV says Southampton. Thanks for having me on. You're always welcome. Always welcome.
That was Simon.
Simon, always welcome, Simon. Always welcome, mate. And please do get your son on as well. It would be great to have him on at some point. I reckon he said Saints as well.
That's Anna.
That's Anna. See you after West Ham. 3 more points. Let's catch Chelsea. That would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Can we catch Chelsea? Can we catch Frank?
Oh, I'd love to see that happen. I really would. And this sort of segues back to the quip about Scott Parker taking the Tottenham job. If Chelsea were desperate enough to get Frank back, I wouldn't be surprised to see Scott back managing at Tottenham. They couldn't do much worse, could they?
Yeah, exactly. Now Sam's back with his actual real name in here. That's why I thought, where's Sam gone? You've actually purposely logged out to get rid of the Bryn bit, haven't you?
I already could do that. It was I accidentally come off the screen on my phone.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. What did you make of yesterday's performance, Sam?
Well, yeah, I thought the performance was very good. The goals we scored were very good. And yeah, overall, I thought it was a really good performance. At the end of the day, before the game, I thought I read the game off, to be fair myself. I thought it was going to be one of those games which, if we got a point, it'd be, brilliant. But if we don't, it's on to the next game. So to go up there, and when they equalised, I thought, oh no, this is going to be it. But then for Solanke, he had a great game yesterday, set up 2 and scored 1. And hopefully that has shut some of his haters up a little bit, because there's a lot of people moaning about Solanke not scoring. But what some people don't understand is there's a lot more to his game than just scoring goals.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. Matt has written this. Cheers, Rowley. Thanks for joining us. It was great to have your views. Hope Eddie gets you to the promised land of the Champions League. Likewise, that would be just deserves for what he's achieved. And do remember, and I do bring this up with him. I did say that Newcastle was going to finish third at the start of this season. It's all there in the video. But Harry disagreed. But you do watch it, to see what he thinks now. But yeah, it's interesting. I think the Fulham manager Silva will be the next Tottenham manager. That's an interesting shout. Very interesting shout. Second favourite Bournemouth game I've ever watched after the Bolton game back in the 2014-15 promotion season. Oh, to be honest, that is the obvious choice. The Bolton game. What a match that was. Mark Pugh just sending us on our way. Although, one thing I've always thought was that Nottingham Forest game, because it was against a team who were tougher, who were in that mix with us. Was that Nottingham Forest game? Did that surpass it in a way? I guess it was the first time we ever did it, and of course we won the title. But at the same time, for an achievement, I come out of that Nottingham Forest game absolutely buzzing, because I'll be honest, I was shitting it beforehand.
I mean, I find it difficult to compare those two games, because that feeling when we first got promoted was amazing. That I don't think that will ever be beaten.
No.
Due to the importance of the game
Yeah.
itself, and obviously Forest being right behind us.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a bigger game. There was, all we knew that we had to do was obviously, beat Bolton, and realistically we were promoted. But yeah, I find it difficult to compare those two games. The feeling after those two games for me, very, very, very different. I think I was more relieved after the Forest game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Than the buzzing feeling I had after we beat Bolton. Two completely different feelings, but the same prize at the end of it, if that makes sense.
If Scott Parker didn't screw it up so badly halfway through the season, we might not have even had that panic. But to be honest, games against Peterborough, that Reading home game, Derby away,
Peterborough away that season was probably one of the most dire games I've ever had to watch. It was absolutely dire. But anyway, back onto more exciting things.
Yes. Stephen Dyer agrees with you, Sam. There we go. Uncle Brent.
Solanke is absolutely spot on. The player works so hard. And this is why I say I would build around Solanke in terms of getting another striker in that we know can bang in goals, because Solanke will provide for somebody as well as pop up with goals himself.
Agree.
Exactly. He's a little bit like Gabriel Jesus from Arsenal. Not too prolific, but the link-up play that Solanke will provide will obviously be worth a great deal. And hopefully this will be the start of people getting off Solanke's back, because it wasn't too long ago, mind you, that people were singing his praises about how important he is to the Bournemouth team, and how pivotal his performances are. And yet we see occasions where he doesn't score too many goals, and people say maybe we should drop him for someone like Kiefer Moore. But then, although Moore is an excellent target man, he's not exactly the quickest. So I'd like to see Solanke continue his form at this stage. And as you say, Matt, if you can build a side around him and get another striker, that would certainly serve you well. And another question, I'm a little bit surprised that the 1-0 win over Liverpool at Dean Court has not been discussed in the list of wonderful Premiership games, because bear in mind, the 9-0 is a long way away. To beat a side like that, which had, if memory serves me right, creamed Manchester United at Anfield. I mean, keeping a clean sheet as well. What about that for a performance?
Yeah.
Yeah, It was a good performance. I mean, the Liverpool performance that will always live in the history will be the one where a certain Mr. Ake and a certain Mr. Cook popped up with a couple of goals.
There we are. Mark's actually guessed it straight away. That was, phenomenal.
That was a
game.
great game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And AFC B Germany. Anyone want to buy a Zimbabwe jersey? I've got one spare. I'm guessing you might have seen our. Well, I don't know. Was it a rant? Was it? I think it was structured debate. Let's say.
That was a structural conversation.
Structural conversation, yes, about Jordan Zamora. If you haven't seen it, please do check that out as well. So, of course, Matt, you do have some slides as well with regards to stats. Shall we go through those?
Yeah, sure. I'll bring them up for you. You ready,
No
guys?
problem.
Here we go.
Yes, here we go. Let's do the London Tango with Bournemouth Dango. Brilliant.
It takes two to tango, but only one to dango. I love it.
I absolutely love it.
I won't write in any headlines for the Daily Mirror anytime soon, so I mean that's the best I can come up with.
No, but one more thing. Given that his name's pronounced Dongo, you really ought to be doing the Congo.
You see?
With Dongo, yes.
You see? That's it. Next time, Manny, I'll check this kind of stuff with you.
Sam, could you come up with any better?
I think Manny summed it up, really, hasn't he? He's always got the lines for the show.
He has, yeah, he has. Max, did you think of any? Could you think of anything?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. To be honest.
No, that's fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Anthony Herbert is saying 14 likes. Press the like button, people. Yes, please do it. Please do it. It helps spread the word, gets it into all the algebra. Is that a word? Yeah, algebra is a word, isn't it? Yes. I don't know if that's how it actually works, but yes, it will get it out to more people. You've been Dango. Stevens put, let's all do the Dango and the Conga. All do the Dango, yeah, the Conga, yeah, sorry. I'm being a bit slow there. Right. Carry on, Matt.
So this is a bit of a question, isn't it? Was it, you changed the formation yesterday. Was it right personnel, right tactics? What did Gary get right yesterday?
I think, what he did, bringing in Vina. Vina looks a very, very talented player.
He was absolutely superb.
Yes.
He was absolutely superb.
I hope we've got a purchase agreement on him.
Do you know what? I think, everyone's, about saying, Jay-Z's off and that, but what a replacement he would be.
Yeah.
And you can tell that's really his position, wing back. You can really tell that is his position. And the goal just capped it off for him, didn't it? I mean, the way he got forward for that was fantastic. Made that little run into the box, led the ball. Beautiful little finish over Luis. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean he's made loads of challenges yesterday and won the ball without getting booked, so that's another positive.
Yeah. But I think, and we'll speak about this a little bit further on, but one of Gary's, we have criticised before some of the substitutions he's made, in fairness. Yes. But at times when Gary seems to get it right, he gets it spot on. And yesterday, with his tactics and with his personnel, he was absolutely spot on. Now, I was surprised to see Smithy on the bench.
Yeah.
But I can see why he's done that now. And to bring Vina in on the left in what is his natural position, he absolutely thrived. And to be honest, I like playing a back three. I like that formation. A back three with wing backs is a favourite formation of mine. So I mean, I just think he got absolutely everything right yesterday.
Yeah, completely agree. I think the formation was right. We moved forwards well. It's a whole difference compared to what we saw earlier on in the season, and I think he is developing as a manager quite quickly. He's learning more about these players. He's learning more about this job. He's learning, and I think he's done a very. To be honest, I know a lot of people knock him, but I think he's done quite a good job. Solanke is an excellent player, not an out-and-out goal scorer, but hopefully that goal will give him a little bit of confidence as well. Ryan Christie, absolutely outstanding. And Ouattara, he's dropped Ouattara, but I think when Ouattara come on, of course he got that goal.
Yeah.
But I think he's shown that maybe sometimes players do need dropping like that.
Yeah, I mean,
oh yes,
I think what you can see with Gary is, I mean, he's developing as a manager. He's still transitioning from a coach to a manager, right? But I think one thing that he isn't scared to do is to make tough decisions within who he plays.
Yeah.
It's like the first tough decision he had to make, if we cast our mind all the way back, was bringing Neto in against Wolves after the Liverpool game. Obviously, Trav's confidence was shot to pieces, and he made the decision to bring Neto in. So ever since then, you could see from the start, if you go back through, you can see that if he feels he's need to drop some, look at Lloyd Kelly. While he was injured, he's got him to a place where he's performing again. He's very, very good. I suppose it's a man management skill, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is definitely. And I can say that Mikel Arteta needs to take a page out of Gary O'Neill's book in how to treat certain players who might just be not in the best of form. Because as Anthony mentioned in the chat, Bukayo Saka didn't have a good game today, but he looks mentally shot to pieces. And the poor boy has been playing almost every minute of every game for us. Resting him and bringing him back would certainly do a great deal of good for him. But enough talking about Arsenal. One player I really want to single out for a lot of credit is your Sweet 16, Marcus Tavernier. That goal he scored against Fulham was a world-class goal that was worthy of winning any game, much less a game against a team like Fulham, which are mid-table now, but are still fighting for a slim chance of a European spot. And certainly his inclusion in that team as the right wing back, who also plays a role going forward and also tries to solidify that midfield without having the midfield or defense being breached, has been really good. I think the energy he's lent to the team has been quite outstanding. And I also want to piggyback of what Matt said with the three at the back formation. It's also because Spurs, if you take a look at their tactical formation, they always play three at the back with wing backs. It's sort of the Conte, Stellini sort of way. And when it looks good, it looks really, really good. But when it looks bad, it looks horrid. A little bit like the little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And you remember that nursery rhyme from school, don't you, boys?
Yes, yeah.
And so Tavernier certainly will have a role to play coming on. Going forth this season, and if he keeps up his performances, he could also prove to be key, definitely. And of course, Mepham, Stevens, and Kelly. You don't even need to play Ryan Fredericks or any other left back right now because the central defenders have done so well. But I just hope that O'Neill doesn't rest on his laurels and also decides to adopt a horses for courses approach for subsequent games, because depending on who you play next, I definitely don't see your next opponents necessarily playing a back three themselves. But having said that, of course, if something like this works really well, if it isn't broken, don't try to fix it.
I mean, in terms of back three yesterday, they were really strong. I mean, Jack Stevens, for example, at times he dealt with Kane really well yesterday. I thought. I don't know about what anybody else thinks, but
well, there we are. That's from Anna. So feeling like we have such good depth of squad now that Gary O'Neill can drop players and drop players in and take them out when necessary. Lads know they have competition for places each week and work hard for it. Nothing is a given for anyone. Love Jack Stevens, by the way. So echoing what you've said there, Matt, he needs a great shout out. A Southampton fan has all asked me if they can have him back. Haha, no way. Of course, he won't be able to play against Southampton, but I think I think he's outstanding. I think he's an absolutely outstanding player. He does the job. He's a bit like Steve Cook. You don't expect all the silky skills, but they're solid players. They're players that will really put their bodies on the line. So yeah, I think personally, I think that's spot on. And no, Southampton, you can't have him back. We want him. Just a couple of questions actually on this as well. I was going to come to Sam, but he's put, sorry boys, had to go get ready for my week ahead. Up the Cherries, on to next week. Thank you for coming on, Bryn. And we will see you very, very soon. Uncle Bryn there. Let's have a look. Any updates on the Vina injury? I haven't heard much on it, really. I guess we're going to have to wait for Gary's press conference. What do you think, guys?
More than likely. I haven't seen anything yet, to be fair, on the longevity of it. But
yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Just having a quick look through the rest. Gary O'Neill has always believed in the squad during his press interviews. That's a big, big point, and we'll come on to Gary O'Neill, and I really do want some comments about what you make of him, but we'll wait until that slide. Agree, Craig, keep Gary O'Neill whatever happens. We do have some more. Gary O'Neill equals in at the deep end after the Scott Parker fiasco, plus ownership change, plus World Cup break, plus injuries, plus illness in camp, plus VAR decisions, plus some poor decisions, but learning curve. To be honest, that's a fair point.
It's a big learning curve, all of that, for someone that's, never been a manager. And at the top level, it's, absolute credit to the guy. Like I say, we'll talk more about that a little bit further on. But I mean, that's a spot on comment there.
I completely agree. I'm not sure who's put this one.
Floydie Robinson.
Floydie Robinson. There's only one decent scummer. And Smith on the bench yesterday, due to be on 9 yellow cards, would have missed the next 2 matches. Well, to be honest, based on that, is Smith going to be able to get his place back? And don't know how I feel about Gary O'Neill. The consistency is what is sometimes missing, but then again, we did have that under Howe as well.
That's very true.
Let's scroll on and go from there. Go to the next slide.
For the next one. So the stats. Not that it matters now anyway, to be fair. But obviously, as you'd expect, Tottenham having most of the possession, but not by a great deal. I mean, to be fair, I thought we played some fantastic football yesterday at times. So, I mean, the possession doesn't really mean anything. It's always nice to have the ball, but like mostly this season, we've won games by not having the ball. So a lot during the game. So shots, 8 for Spurs to our 6. Shots in total 24 by Spurs, with only 8 on target. That is, if you're a Spurs fan, you're going to be really, really disappointed at that, big time. But yeah, overall, I mean, I wouldn't, say that the stats are overwhelming. You can see with the shots they were having to the clearances we had. Obviously, we had 37 clearances, but just proves that on the day we defended well, which is what I was saying. Those back three, Stevens, Meps, Kelly, they played really well yesterday, I thought, defensively.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look at the next slide. And this is the big thing. And you will see me speak to Harry about this as well later on. The transfer business that we've done is excellent, considering Vina looks real talent. Ouattara we know is a good talent. Habib Traore as well, has really stood out. Maybe not so much recently, but I think there's a very, very good player in there. Players are going to go through peaks and troughs, aren't they? And you just have to stick by them.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like we were saying a little while ago, Craig. As soon as Dango got his first goal, that would fill him with a lot more confidence. And the way he took the goal, like you've said previously, the way he took that goal yesterday was absolutely superb. So hopefully we shall start seeing him on the score sheet a bit regular now.
Definitely. Just a quick comment from Max. Sorry, Craig, mate. I had to head off as Dad's got work in the morning at 5:30 and he's gone to bed. So I had to head off and keep quiet. Take care of yourself and up the cherries in all departments. Thank you for coming on, Max. Don't make too much noise. But yeah, no, great to have you on here again, mate. And do check out that Harry show at 10 o'clock as well. It will be on straight after this. From the next 7 games, I think we'll get 8 points. That's going to be more than enough, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that will be.
2 wins and 2 draws. It'd be interesting to see, which games do you think are going to be the wins, the draws, and of course 3 losses. I'm guessing, this is me just throwing it out there. Probably Manchester United and Chelsea will be the losses.
The way Chelsea are playing yesterday, there's a very good chance we could beat them.
Well, exactly.
I mean, Brighton had them absolutely sussed out yesterday. Absolutely sussed out.
They're a good side, Brighton. Very, very good side. And lads, who has been your best player for Bournemouth so far and why? Here we are. There's a question from Anthony.
Very good
Go
question.
for it. Do you want to answer it first, Matt?
I'll have a go. To say best players, like to single one player out. Billing, when he's been on form this season, has been exceptional. Solanke has played well all season. Okay, he's not scored the goals, but like we've said many, many, many times, he's done so much. He's worked so hard. Then you've had the likes of Christie, who's come on a lot in the last sort of couple of months, and he's really performed well. There's Stevens, the game against Wolverhampton, superb.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm going to say one player.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Neto. Some of the saves he has made this season, and his experience, the way he's taken to the captaincy, the way the players have all, sort of absorbed him as the captain. You know, since he's come in as captain, you know, there's been a change in the squad, I feel. So I would say Neto.
Yeah,
He
I would.
player the season.
To be honest, I was thinking Billing. Billing's been outstanding this season. He is a confidence player, I would say. You know, when his confidence is down, his head goes, and this, you know,
yeah.
But then again, we haven't seen as much of that as we have done previously.
No, you're right. But then another one, you know, Tavs. You can Marcus Tavernier. You know, at times he's had, you know, real good spells. You know, so you know, Lerma.
Lerma, yeah,
Lerma really playing with his heart on his sleeve at the moment. Do you know what I mean? He's really, really digging in.
Considering he might be leaving at the end of the season as well, Matt. That's the thing. You know, he's
absolute credit to the guy. Do you know what I mean? You know, but I just think, for me, I just think Neto this season.
Yeah,
but they've you know, a lot of them have been superb. You know, a lot of them have. I mean, I think you've got a few comments you might want to pop up, but
yes, yeah. I'm just going to put them up now. Stephen Dyer's put Solanke for work rate and consistency. Definitely Neto, followed by Billing. Billing for me, Jeff Lerma ain't far behind. But I've been positively surprised by Metham as well this season. I will go. I think Billing's been very good, but I think Lerma, he's one of those players that just wears his heart on his sleeve. You know, he will throw his body in the line. You know, he knows that he's possibly going to be leaving the club. You know, and it's, you know, he's still given 110%, and you know, he's a full credit to himself. And I'd love him to please sign the piece of paper, Lerma. Please, please, please. I'd love him to stay, but I think,
absolutely,
yeah, I think for reasons, you know, that have been made clear previously, I think it's probably not going to happen. But I would love it to happen. But yeah, Lerma, full credit to him. Take note, Ryan Fraser.
Also, Jordan Zamora, don't forget about him.
Yes, Jordan Zamora. Although saying that, we was having this conversation. Zamora hasn't refused to play, has he? But to be honest, it should never have been announced. Udinese are really very much at fault for all this scenario. In my eyes.
Have you checked out the show from Friday, Manny?
No, I haven't. I will check it out soon. But I think I've made it crystal clear that when it comes to the JZ or JZ issue, it does take two to tango, and he can't be, you know, blameless in this whole thing. And I wasn't going to make him, you know, my player of the season by any means. I'd actually go for Billing to be my player of the season because he has been certainly consistent and has popped up with some important goals. But I mean, Neto has definitely surprised me, I would say. He's made some good saves. He has also conceded a few goals, which a keeper of his experience and quality would normally be expected to save. But I think for the calmness and leadership that he's exuded, signing him on that 3-year deal and making him captain has definitely been a masterstroke by Gary O'Neill in terms of ensuring that level of you know, solidity and you know, comfort in a way, because you don't want that kind of uncertainty. And you know, you offer him a contract like that in recognition of what he's done for the club. It is a masterstroke in many ways. And I also credit Gary O'Neill, of course, for the way he's dealt with the Zamora issue. For me, again, players of the season have got to be Billing, and Neto's definitely not too far behind, because he could improve on a few of his performances. He has made 1 or 2 errors, but it's the nature of the position, and certainly he's well worth the captaincy, no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely. Just a couple because I want to make sure we get every comment up. FCB Germany has said Southampton and Leeds will be wins. Everton and West Ham draws. Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and Man United losses. To be honest, that is very, very feasible, and that would make perfect sense. I think West Ham, like you say, Manny, aren't no slouches. So I think Southampton, well, I'd be very disappointed if we didn't beat Southampton at their current state. Leeds, I don't think are particularly that great. I don't think Everton are really either. But the thing is they if they're still in the mix at that last game of the season, they're going to be gunning for it. Noel has put big ups where I can find him. Let me find it again. There we are, big ups. Sorry, I accidentally pressed the wrong button there. Who is the best player? That fact is so hard to answer. Shows what an amazing team we have. I'm guessing that's you, Anna. So yeah, I completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. I think it's earlier on in the season, it didn't look like it was going to be too too difficult. But when when I sat next to Anna at Liverpool, to be honest, it looked like wow, it's going to be difficult to find a player of the season here. But it's difficult for all the right reasons now. VAR is Tottenham's best player. It probably is. What about the player you signed from Bristol City? Haven't really seen too much of him, to be honest. Shown bright signs.
Yeah, I mean, his debut he made when he made his debut at Brighton, he looked good.
Yeah,
he did look good. But in fairness, you're right, Craig. We've not seen too much of him. But when he has come on, he has put a shift in. So
yeah, definitely. AFCB Germany has said, does that mean if Lerma leaves, I need to get rid of my Columbia jersey as well? No, keep hold of that. The man's a legend. But no, I would never. So an amazing player, and I wish him all the best if he does leave. And
absolutely.
Yeah, likewise. Joe Rothwell, the last few matches has been excellent. Always looks to play.
This is it carried on, I think.
Forwards. Yes, yeah, it's just the last word there. So
that's absolutely true as well, because I mean we've said before, haven't we, Craig, at a couple of games, the ball that Rothwell plays and his passing ability is superb.
It is, yeah. It certainly is, mate. Shall we have a look at the next slide? This is the player ratings for from Tottenham, I should say. It's hard to disagree with any of those. Ouattara, 8.36. Of course, he was the lowest scored in the last two games.
That's right, yeah.
So it shows dropping a player. See, this is what is good man management. I know that a lot of people, and we're going to get to Gary O'Neill in a second. Actually, let me hold that thought. But Ouattara, since he's been dropped and has come back in, it's shown that it's the right decision. Let's say leave it as that at the moment. Christie, I think, could be a bit higher.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I can't really argue with any of that, really. You'd expect all the Bournemouth players to be 7 and above for yesterday's performance. I mean, even at 1-0 down yesterday, I wasn't worried at all, because Bournemouth just looked up for it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I can't really disagree with any of those scores, really. There's nothing that stands out and says, like there was a couple of games ago, wasn't there, where we disagreed with a few of the scores, wasn't there? But I can't say I really disagree with any of them.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think they're all fair. Ouattara's come back into the side and put up a good showing. Vina could probably be a bit higher, but we're being picky now. Good stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Anthony. It's a pleasure, and you're welcome on anytime you want, mate. Big up to you, and also my fellow fellow Guna Manny. And FCB Germany, don't know if it's been mentioned as I've been on and off with the stream, but the second goal, so from Danjuma, was offside in my opinion. It was very close, wasn't it? Very, very close. We'll come back to that. I might have to re-watch it again, but I think it was very, very close. The VAR again. Do you know what? VAR has got no consistency. That if we had scored it up the other end, it probably would have been called for offside. Anna's got to shoot. Really enjoyed the chat tonight. Still buzzing from the best away day. Enjoy the rest of what's left of the weekend. Likewise, Anna, and do check out that video to later on or tomorrow or whenever you do want to watch it. And can't argue with the scores; they're fair. Shall we move on to the next screen? Danjuma to score, written in the stars. I think we was mentioning that, wasn't we, just a second ago?
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it briefly, wouldn't we, Danjuma, on was it cherry picking? Well, yeah, it was. We were comparing players that play for both clubs, weren't we? And I think I said then that it's probably written in the stars that if he does play or make an appearance, he'll end up scoring.
Yes.
But yeah, disappointed a little bit with what Simon was saying. Disappointed with his celebration.
Yeah.
Considering, I just think you play for a club, you should possibly show a bit of respect if you score against a former club, but that's not how players think, is it, really?
No.
He's playing for a top 6 club, apparently. And but
he's played all of 20 minutes, I think, or something like that. So it's a really good move for him, isn't it?
But yeah, I was not surprised as soon as the ball landed there and he's hit it. It's going in.
Yeah.
I know there's a bit of debate about the offside, and that, but if it had happened up the other end, it would have been ruled out.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's guaranteed, isn't it? I didn't mind his celebration too much. It's his first ever Premier League goal. I'd be happy as well. Yeah, to be honest, it might be his only one, to be fair, because he's not really getting not really getting much game time. 20 minutes, I think it was. Oh, here we are. It's Leicester Till I Die. Hello, Chris. You're welcome on the stream. We're only going to be going for another 20 minutes or so because we have got our special show.
Here he is, as you speak.
Here he is. Talk of the devil. Let's bring him in. Hello, Chris.
Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm doubling up on you. That's it. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, all good. All good. Yeah, great to have you with us. So yeah, of course, you played Man City yesterday.
Unfortunately, we did. Yes.
Yeah. What did you make of it? Of course, it's Dean Smith's first game. It seemed like, from what I saw, and to be honest, it was only highlights, that there seemed to be a little bit more impetus rather than the Rodgers and the Sandler showings. Am I right in thinking that?
We should get 1.5 points because we won the second half. But
don't work like that, Chris.
I know. Although John Wallace, when he was manager, did suggest it. Look, had we still had the bell end in charge, we would not have won that. We would not have won. No, we didn't win it, but we would not have won what we did in the second half. It wouldn't have happened, So we were. It was a better. I mean, that first 20 minutes. Look, Man City. I know Man is in Arsenal fan, but Man City needed to win that game. We'd got potentially the new manager bounce. They showed us total respect by the strength of the team they put out, knowing that they've got a Champions League game next Wednesday. Which, yeah, you could argue that they're nearly through, but they've still got to play it. And in that first 20 minutes, they put us to the sword. You know, the John Stones, I mean, he will never score another goal like that for the rest of his life. Indeed, God knows what he was doing with his hand. Did he want to go toilet or something? It was like he got his hand up. I don't know. He shouldn't have been on the pitch, let alone in the penalty area. And then KDH sold him one with a really short pass for the third goal. We actually made changes at half time, which was like, I didn't realise we were allowed to do that because Brendan never did. But suddenly, apparently we can make 5 changes and make changes at half time.
Bloody hell.
Who knew that we could do that? He made some good changes. The changes he made, you have to say, were fine. But it was a free hit for me. We were never going to win it. What we managed to do was not. I mean, at 3-0 after 20 minutes, there were Southampton fans in chats online saying, "Our 9-0 is not going to be the worst anymore, is it?" And I had to say, I'm looking at that thinking, probably right, actually. But the fact that we kept it down, as Pep, as Dean said, there's teams that have gone to the Etihad this season and have put worse performances in and have got the arses whipped more, by more than that. Technically, we're better than Bayern Munich because we scored a goal.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect us to win it. I was annoyed at that first 20 minutes, and I think if any team goes 3-0 down in the first 20 minutes, you're thinking, for God's sake. But overall, I was impressed, and I'm more confident than I was. And I'm hopefully Dean Smith will have sat there going, well, that didn't work, so we won't do that again. That did work, so yeah, we could do that. And hopefully we'll use it because, like I say, it was a free hit. One word to you though, Soyuncu. What a pleasure to have him back. Man of the match for me. Rodgers, he had his favourites, Rodgers. I don't know what had gone on, whether Soyuncu was banging his daughter. I've no idea, but he just didn't like him and he refused to pick him. Man of the match yesterday. He was making some great runs into the opposition half in the second half when we actually got the ball. And it's funny, but the best defender on the pitch, and yet couldn't even get into the squad most weeks under Rodgers.
Well, Anthony's put Leicester played well to make it 3-1. Can't fault the performance in one way. So yeah,
I've always said that man's good. I like that man. He cuts a fine jib.
Well, that was nice.
No, I
do you think you'll still go down, Chris?
I've just been on Ant's channel, Leicester channel, doing a preview, and we're going to do regular shows where we get on. And yeah, I said I think we'll still go down. It could be when it comes down, it could be West Ham in the last game of the season, and Vestergaard comes on the 8th, 9th minute to defend a free kick, and it hits his arse and goes past Everson. It could literally be something stupid like that, but I just think we did leave it too late when we replaced Rodgers, and unfortunately, I do think we could probably still go down. West Ham are winning, you guys are winning, and we've not been.
Well, we do have Stephen back in the room. You all right, Stephen?
Yeah, good. Thanks, boys.
Good. I think you're just in time for our next slide, which is a word from the gaffer. Gary O'Neill speaking to BBC Match of the Day. It was a big goal at the end, but a hell of a performance. We were in complete control first half and went behind to a team chasing Champions League football. Dominated the ball, had some lovely spells, and were the better side. Managed to get ourselves in front, and deservedly so. Their second goal was offside, but the lads were incredible and showed quality. You can't lose every game in the last minute. We have lost a few this year. For one to go our way was big for us. Of course, the last one was in North London as well. We stay with the same plan Spurs have nothing to lose. Throw more attacking players on and be more aggressive than they were. Sorry, I tell you what, it's because it's small text and my eyesight's shit.
I'll read it for you. I've got it. Spurs have nothing to lose. Throw more attacking players on and be more aggressive than they were. We could maybe have been better with the ball and felt the pressure a bit. But at 2-1 Spurs, you're going to come under some pressure, and we did. I mean, 2-1 up at Spurs on their home ground. The second Spurs goal is clearly offside. Neto has to lean to see around Harry Kane. I'm amazed, and I was disappointed with the officials today. With 6 minutes to go, you know they're going to throw everything at you. They miss a header. We just switch the forward sides, and the ball falls at Dango's feet. He finishes it really well. I'm delighted for the lads. I spoke to them before about taking a huge step towards where we want to get to. To come and win is one thing, but to dominate the opening spell like we did is impressive. We need to try not to get too carried away. We're going to enjoy this, and then it'll be gone and put into the memory banks for the fans to enjoy, or on YouTube if you want to enjoy the highlights. Yep. Then there's a huge week next week, and we've got to be ready. Spot answer.
Absolutely.
I think that is a brilliant statement afterwards.
It's a good job Manny's in, really, isn't it, for you?
Yeah, I tell you what, I think he's really shown what he's all about. And here's the big thing. Before we go on to that, Anthony said, Chris, when is the big fat quiz? I want to join in the big fat quiz as well.
Unfortunately, the big fat quiz is just going to be Leicester from now on.
Is it? Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've had 3 seasons of doing quizzes with other fans, and it doesn't really bring the viewers in. So I'm going to stick with Leicester, I'm afraid, moving forward.
Oh, that's fair enough, mate. I'll watch it anyway.
You're a good egg.
Yeah. Leicester aren't going down at AFCB Germany. Do you know what? This is quite an interesting fact. This is interesting because I think under Dean Smith, Leicester are the most likely team to get out of this. Forest have got the worst running. Southampton are gone. I think Dean Smith will get Leicester fighting. And that will open up Leeds or Everton, personally, for me. So we shall see.
We have got, and I shouldn't say it like this, but we have possibly got the easiest of the run-ins of everybody down there. We need, in fairness, we all need. You're going to stay up. Honestly, I said this to you earlier on Twitter. Yeah. I think you will stay up, but nothing's guaranteed. I think we all need the Premier League to make a decision on Everton as to what they're doing regarding the FFP and whether they're going to dock points or not. But I like that AFC Bournemouth Germany, a fine man again.
Yep, and North London is red, and Anthony said that's fair enough, Chris. Right, I've got lots to say about this now. Has Gary O'Neill finally silenced the doubters? Please put,
yes.
Yeah, please put in the comments anything that you want to say, guys. But I tell you what, Stephen, you go for it. The room's yours because I think.
Yeah, what I said when I commented, and I didn't mention he's got press conferences to do as well. That can always be a bit daunting. But what Manny read out there, that shows to me that a man of confidence.
Yeah.
I think he's grown this last 24, 48 hours. And he did say in January when we were processing to getting those 3 or 4 new signings, he did say things were going to be changing. We've got a bit more speed now with those 3 or 4 players. And I think he was looking forward to working with them and bringing them into the squad. And he doesn't. I think he's learning. I think it's still a learning curve for him, and I don't see a reason to change. I really don't. Even if we do go down, we've got hopefully a fantastic owner, so we're not struggling for money. And 1 or 2 seasons we'll be back up. But I do feel he should be given another chance. A good pre-season. Yes, add a few more players, and I think we'll do well next season.
Do you know what? Gary O'Neill has been absolutely slated by some fans, and in fact, I saw something as well on Twitter even earlier with regards to it. I think he's been fantastic in his approach. He's not let it phase him, or not publicly let it phase him. I think he's a full credit to himself. He's a nice man. He's determined and to be successful, and I think full credit to him. Like earlier on today, there's a lot of people that have compared him to a PE teacher, and I just think it's just wrong. I think it's wrong because the man is a good manager. Like a number of fans, I won't say who they are, have been making comments on here. James Bond's, who's going to play the next James Bond, and somebody's put Gary O'Neill, and replied, "Diamond formations are forever. Doctor, no idea." And this is the sort of comments that Gary O'Neill's been getting. I think
I think we're playing a lot better football since he's taken over than Scott Parker, even in the Championship.
Completely agree.
But he's turned the corner there, and it looks like the players want to play for him as well. He hasn't done a Southampton, and we're sort of struggling now. At least he's given us a bit of hope. And look, yes, he had £40 million in January, which seems to be spent quite well. So the board and the owners are backing him. I mean, who is there to replace him? I just think we need to keep a consistency going until at least the middle of next season if things are going a bit pear-shaped, but I can't see that happening.
Yep. AFCB Germany said, agree, it's much better football than Parker. A lot of criticism has been warranted, in my opinion, and I belong to the crowd wanting him to go, want him out. But what I've seen lately, with the exception of some games, I've been positively surprised with. And personally, I think, I always stood by him. The only time when I wavered, and Matt, you know where I'm going with this, was Brentford. After that Brentford defeat, I started to waver a little bit, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean, there was a little spell, wasn't there, when we backed him when he was interim, and obviously when the names were being bashed about of, the names that were being linked with the job, and we weren't keen on any of those names, were we?
No.
We backed O'Neill for the job.
I wasn't either. And look at Dyche now. He made a mistake yesterday, according to Murphy on Match of the Day. He played 2 in midfield when he's been playing 3 in midfield. That was talked about, so he hasn't got a spot on at Everton yet, has he?
No.
Managers will make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's done a good job with what he's had. Remember, we're a newly promoted club. When he took over, we come off the back of a 9-0 hounding by Liverpool. Full credit to him. There was a point in the season where I did, think, is this a little bit too much? And that was the Brentford game. But I think, he's shown, especially, okay, the first half against Fulham was terrible, but the second half, was excellent. And how he changed it and made those changes against Leicester, good performance.
That's a positive, isn't it, Craig, of his management? Like
exactly,
one half to another half, and the changes he made at half time, spot on.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
lads, you got to remember that we haven't. This is our 6th or 7th season in the Premier League. We're playing catch up all the time, either be it a ground, finances, the training academy, the training ground. We're playing catch up. In hindsight, maybe we should have done the 5 seasons that we had in the Premiership. Maybe we should have done that in the Championship and got promoted this season. Then we would have had a lot more money coming in, and maybe we would have had a decent training ground. But what he's been working with, we're a club that's playing catch up all the time. When we got in the Premiership in the beginning, we had to develop the ground with the floodlights for TV. the press area in the stands, and all these little health and safety things that were coming. I mean, that was catch up. Like Wigan now. Look at their stadium, fantastic stadium, but they're in the lower leagues.
Yeah,
we've never had. Max Denham did a great job, and the guy before that, the local man, did a great job, but we didn't have that amount of money to further us. Yes, Max put it all in the squad, and that's where we are today. But we haven't had that structure behind the scenes, I don't think. Never have. I mean, I started supporting in the 70s when we were getting 24, 25,000 people in at Dean Court. I haven't seen that in the 90s, late 80s, 90s. We've always had this 8 or 10,000s. And even our ground now only holds 12,000. So, we're playing catch up in all aspects of the community club of AFC Bournemouth.
I think Gary has come under so much flack from our fans. There was names being bounded around like Kajil Knutson at Bodo Glimt. There was Marcelo Bielsa mentioned. I know that I've said as well, if they did make the decision, Carlos Corberán. But the thing is there's no guarantee under any of these managers that they would have done better than Gary O'Neill. And I think what he's done is a good job. And, just bringing it onto the point, I didn't see Match of the Day yesterday. Did the so-called pundits actually praise us or only focus on how bad Tottenham played?
They did praise us.
Yeah,
they did praise us. They did mention that Spurs weren't great.
Yeah, they always going to, aren't they? But I mean, I was sat there watching it, and I said to the wife, I said, "You watch them focus on Tottenham." But they did have quite a lot of praise for Bournemouth on there last night.
Yeah. And Gary O'Neill's been getting quite a lot of praise in the last few weeks.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
So,
which I think brings us on to our next bit.
Yeah.
Do you want someone else to read, Craig?
Go on, Manny. Are you all right to do it, or Matt? It's up to you.
Yep, I've got your back, mate. Sky Sports pundit, former Liverpool defender Stephen Warnock said of Cherries' head coach, Gary O'Neill has come in and he makes huge decisions within games. He's done unbelievably well. The Nottingham Forest game away, 2-0 down, makes changes the system at half-time. Suddenly they come back and win the game 3-2. It's not the only game where he's changed the system. He's also changed personnel at times. Midway through first half, second halves, and he's made big calls. He's not afraid to live by his decisions and die by them. I'm not putting him in the same bracket here, but how many times do we praise Jose Mourinho for doing that, for making those big decisions? You've got to do that sometimes. Even the change of Philip Billings' position now, playing higher up. Credit to Gary O'Neill. He's done a great job so far. And that sums him up perfectly, gentlemen.
Yeah,
he is, unlike a certain Mr. Arteta, he is proactive. And that is what you want from a manager. And I've had this discussion about possible changes, alternative to Gary O'Neill with you on this channel. And I remember saying that several of them aren't really the type of managers that would do the job justice. I think someone mentioned that Benitez could come in. Sorry, wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. Poor man manager. Marcelo Bielsa. No, do not need the drama. And do we really need another non-English speaker coming to a lower league club and having some communication issues with the players? I don't think so. And there was a guy mentioned from a club in Norway, if I'm not wrong. Nope, that wouldn't have worked. So O'Neill had to be the choice to keep the team going forward. And when you make a big decision to get rid of Scott Park and bring Gary O'Neill in, there has to be a change that has to go for the season. So to go back to the question whether he's finally silenced his doubters, I again remind people of a wonderful quote that there's always many a slip between the cup and the lip. There are still some games to go before the end of the season. So in as much as we have a right to celebrate this win, I shouldn't include myself in the we, but I do have a soft spot for Bournemouth now. And as much as there is a right to celebrate the win, there are still some games to be played, and it has to be one game at a time. And if he's able to, Bournemouth should be able to stay up. And if they do, especially if they end up in a very comfortable mid-table position, maybe even somewhere like an 11th or a 12th, that is definitely a credit to Gary O'Neill. But we also have to remind ourselves, last season we were everyone was waxing lyrical about Jesse Marsch for the job that he did, getting Leeds to stay up on the last day of the season by the skin of his teeth, especially after the whole Bielsa controversy. But this season, he was sacked. So as a manager, you really are only good as your next game and also your next season. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But next season, it just means that O'Neill is going to be under a lot more pressure to make sure that this isn't just a flash in the pan and it has to continue. And hopefully, I hope he will conduct a review of his own performance as a manager and take some criticism, but also some compliments on board. As we're gonna let me just come on to Danny Murphy now. Got to give Gary O'Neill a mention. Is this immediately after Warnock, mate?
I think it might be.
Yeah, this is after Warnock. Yeah,
brilliant. First managerial post, he's been terrific, conducts himself well, proactive, as I said, proactive with his substitutions. Always sets them up positively. They're not a negative side. They always try to go after the game, and he deserves credit again. Really well-balanced team, well-structured team, played confidently. Didn't look like a side struggling down the bottom. Bournemouth will be disappointed that they didn't put the game to bed earlier because they had to weather the storm a bit in the second half. It's a really, really important win for them. And again, deserves all the plaudits that he can get. But I would like to say that at the end of the season, he will have done a lot to silence his doubters. But next season, as I've said, the pressure on him will the expectations rather on him will probably grow. And so if he's able to build on this and get the team even safer and maybe push a little bit higher, who knows? I mean, take a look at what Eddie Howe has done with Newcastle, but also what Unai Emery has done with Aston Villa. Aston Villa were dead and buried when Gerrard was there. Gerrard got sacked. Unai Emery came in, and now Aston Villa are looking at a possible European place. Definitely my candidate for manager of the year. But I'll tell you what, Gary O'Neill also should be in with a shout if he gets Bournemouth higher up the table.
Absolutely. I mean, should we take a look at the results of the weekend?
Yeah, let's quickly do that. So these are the results. I'm going to make it full screen. So, of course, Villa beat Newcastle 3-0. A fantastic result for them. Chelsea were beaten at home to Brighton. So, yes, Brighton carry on. Very, very good. Big game at the bottom. Everton being beaten by Fulham 3-1. Saints are still struggling. 2-0 defeat against Crystal Palace. If you get to watch match day vlogs, we are going to get them on for the Southampton preview. Do watch Fuels and Mike as well on there. They're very, very depressed with the situation at Southampton. They can't see a way out. Wolves, massive win for them. 2-0 at Brentford. Spurs, of course, were beaten 3-2 by ourselves. And, of course, Man City beat Leicester 3-1. But Leicester looked a bit better, to be fair. West Ham 2, Arsenal 2. That's a good point for West Ham. Forest were beaten 2-0 by Manchester United, and they have got another hard game coming up. And Leeds are at home to Liverpool. It depends what Liverpool turn up, really.
We want a Liverpool win, don't we?
Massively.
Yes, definitely.
Massively.
And this is the league as it stands. God, it's looking a lot better, isn't it?
It is. I mean, if you look at all the red, it's all down in the bottom three, really, with people's form lately, isn't it? Forest, 1 draw in the last 5. Well, all 3 teams at the bottom have 1 draw in the last 5, which is relegation form, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you look at the likes of, ourselves, Palace, those 3 wins there, that's virtually kept them up. I still think they probably need another win in there to make certain of it. But yeah, you can see now there's more of a pattern forming now, isn't there, over the last few weeks? Which
I wouldn't rule like Chelsea.
Well, they have got relegation form, haven't they, Chelsea?
Yeah.
They've got relegation form, which I don't think anyone would have said.
And they start panicking a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, 300 million in the transfer window, and they've got relegation form. It's just mad.
They haven't won in 5. Look.
Yeah, absolutely mad.
Well, ourselves and Palace are in the best form. 3 wins, 2 defeats. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be doing a free-for-all after the West Ham game. We will have a preview as well for that as well coming up. But I think we better wrap it up there because we are reaching 10 o'clock and we know what that means. So, Stephen, thank you again for coming on. And, do keep watching the show. Remember, make sure you stay on the channel for 10 o'clock for the Harry first part. And Manny, we will see you for some cherry picking, no doubt.
Yes, you will, boys. Yes, you will. And I did say I wasn't thinking of coming on today, but I'm glad I had to. I'm sorry if it, mucked up your schedule a little bit. But next time, if I tell you I'm coming on, I mean it.
That's fine, mate. No problem. Well, you'll be on for cherry picking, won't you?
Of course. Wouldn't miss that for the world.
Even just to come on to do the reading for Craig because he can't read's been good enough, Manny. So,
mate, get yourself a laser surgery. It'll do you a world of good.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to look at that, don't
I? Even my eyesight's poor. I've got these high-powered glasses on. I need to get a laser surgery done too because I don't want to be stuck wearing glasses all my life. You see.
Fair enough, mate. Yeah. Fair enough.
Hey,
well, Manny, we'll see you midweek.
Before Manny goes, what you want to do is you want to go and have laser treatment for the eyes and the hair, don't you? Do it both times.
Yeah, the hair of Istanbul. I wonder if they do the 2-in-1.
2-in-1, yeah. Get one, buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
I'd avoid Istanbul like the plague, gentlemen. I mean, you don't want to take any risks over there. You never know what goes on.
Wow, exactly. But fingers crossed, we'll see you midweek. Fingers crossed for next Sunday it'll be.
Next Sunday.
Yeah. Looking forward
see you later then, Manny.
Cheers,
always, gentlemen. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
And then there was 2. I tell you what, another good show today. Of course, I think we better play something because, guys, stay on this channel and make sure you're sat there at 10 o'clock. You might need to refresh it because this